Every Tuesday on Tuesday Morning Coffee, we pick a record of the week. And since I haven't been doing Tuesday Morning Coffee in the last 2 weeks, unfortunately, summertime, busy, barbecue season, I had to play catch up. So today I wrote one in my newsletter. I thought of something maybe that I wasn't doing on stream, but that I was doing in real life. And when I was writing, I just looked around my room, and the record that I saw on the shelf in my living room was this one right here. Ramsey Lewis, Mother Nature's Son, out of Chicago on Cadet Records, 1968. This is a record that I found kind of like early in my digging days. My elders had told me to always look for Ramsey Lewis records because they had beats, and they were right. They were right. This is Mother Nature's Son. Now, some people that might be Beatles heads might know that Mother Nature's Son is the name of a record on the Beatles' White Album. But that doesn't stop there. This is actually, every song on this is a cover of something off of the Beatles' White Album. And it's a really, really, really dope version of it. So I just want to maybe take you through a few of my favorite little parts that I've been enjoying around the house lately. For some reason, I've been starting with the B-side lately. I've had this for 2 decades, and what I like about records is, they can kind of evolve with your tastes, or maybe you might be into something 1 year or 1 decade and the next something different. But we'll just start by putting the needle on the record. How about that? That's a pretty good way to start playing records, isn't it? This one's called Cry Baby Cry. In there, Charles Stepney, the producer and arranger, has a bunch of synthesizers. He added so many layers to this record. Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Chat if you feeling this. Let's go. Truth with 1,000 bits. Let's go. Tila's loving it. just right. Let's just let the record play into the next song. It's an amazing album. That's why I had it on the living room. It's just a good record to let play the whole thing, man. The vibes knows the vibes. Like, and for all my beat heads, my sample heads, you're going to hear all kinds of crazy things you want to sample. And you're going to hear things that are used, but also some cool stuff. Hectophonic, it's all instrumental. No vocalist on the whole record. The trio, Ramsey Lewis on keys, Cleveland Eaton on bass, and he is eaten on this album. And the drummer, the great Maurice White, who later went on to form Earth, Wind & Fire. This is from 1968, so it predates Earth, Wind & Fire. But Maurice White used to be a drummer on the label Cadet and did a lot of work and he was in the Ramsey Lewis trio and was a studio player. He played on that record "Rescue Me" by Fontella Bass. But let's hear what Maurice was doing on this record, getting busy. Listen to the drumming on this record. Moog synths, come on. USSR, let's go! Let's go! So young beat digger like myself was really, really, really looking for drums like that. And when I heard that, crazy break. Great samples all over this record. But what I love more than that, and probably why I like it like for samples, Ramsey has such an amazing melodic style. And his interpretation of the Beatles songs, the Lennon and McCartney, it's just a beautiful interpretation of them. I'm going to take you back. The next song I think is like the prettiest song on here. Cry Baby Cry, and this one here. Julia, with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra kicking it off. Let's go. Tila? Ain't it pretty, Tila? Anyone named Julia in the chat? Any Julias in the chat? Talk to him, Ramsey! That's Julia. Wow, beautiful version. And Ramsey just killing the keys. You know, I mean, who wouldn't with sidekicks like the rabbit and the dove and the parrot and an ascot like that. Look at that. This guy is the ascot mascot. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo! Let's take it to one melody that you probably remember from various points in your life. And we'll keep it going. The last cut here. There's all kinds of dope cuts. He does Dear Prudence. He does Blackbird. Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me play the Blackbird. What they do with the Moog on the Blackbird. I don't want to play the whole one. But I'll play this with a theremin and the Moog. And I'll tell you. I'll read the wiki entry on this. I'll share it, and you can read it as well on the album. It says, the album was recorded at Termar Studio, Chicago, December 1968, a short time after the November 1968 release of the White Album by the Beatles. Recorded live with the members of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. There they are. Ramsey Lewis said, I wasn't a Beatles fan. I had recorded Hard Day's Night, Day Tripper, and I Love Her before, but I didn't really get them. But my producer, Charles Stepney, told me to think about doing a Beatles covers album. I didn't think they had enough songs to do an entire album, but he gave me a copy of the White Album and said, take a listen. I did, but couldn't see how I could do anything with it. He was like, you didn't really listen. So Charles arranged a few songs for me, and then it was, oh, I get it now. Charles Stepney added an electronic texture effect on the album using the Moog synthesizer. And to note, the Beatles started using the Moog synth the next year on their final studio album, Abbey Road. Go figure. cooking, but that wasn't the joint I said I was going to play. This is the last one on this album I want to play, a melody that you probably remember, and this one will set me up for the next little thing I want to do here. Stay tuned. Let's go! Ramsey Lewis, Mother Nature's Son. It was last week's record of the week. I think I still got another one in the chamber for later today. For those that are listening, we are 3 hours into Tuesday Morning Coffee. Shouts out to my Top Gorilla members who watch and listen to this back. I see you.